Acting?
Acting.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women.
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
And sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
we're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences
to the industry itself, and of course our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things
acting.
Perfect timing.
Hey.
Yes. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week.
Another week. Can you believe time is flying, like literally flying?
It actually felt like summer today. Not because it wasn't hot, but it just felt night, like the birds were chirping, the sun was out.
This whole weekend has been so cozy. Like yesterday was the perfect start to a day, and like when I picture my ideal life and my ideal self, that is what I picture. So I woke up, first off, the only reason I was up is because I fucked up my sleep schedule, but we're not going to talk about that. Mm-hmm. I got up around 8 o'clock because I went to play tennis with a friend, met up, went to tennis, went out to get a quick little bite just for like 30 minutes, whatever. Came home and I just went outside and I did some work outside. I read and I just like really took my time and started my day, and it just was like the perfect. I was like, this is what I want my life to feel like.
Really?
Day. Yeah.
The wind almost knocked me out yesterday.
Okay.
It was so cold. It was only cold because of the wind, though. It wasn't like, it was decent, but that wind was intense.
I will say the wind was a little crazy. So subtract the wind.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would have been perfect. The wind was a little crazy yesterday. Like I felt that shit shaking my car when I was driving to Joanne's play. Yeah. So, but subtracting the wind, and it was a little chilly yesterday. If it was like today, like the warmth was like today, it would have been absolutely perfect. But in terms of like how my day started and like just like getting up and it not being raining and the sun was out and I didn't feel like, like I wanted to die. So
that's a good point, because last weekend was absolutely miserable. It was raining, like it was just not.
And it didn't let up off our necks.
Which was so sad because that was Memorial Day weekend and like we could have did something, but it was just kind of like, what's the point? Well, we did do something. We had our cold read group, but we didn't like.
Oh, that did happen last week. Wow.
Cook out or anything, which was kind of a bummer, but
yeah,
there will be more weekends, July 4th.
There will. Like summer is ultimately here, and I'm pretty sure like those cold days are behind us, so
Yeah.
But exciting stuff happened this weekend.
Yes.
We both got to see a very special person in a very special show.
Yes, and hopefully she'll come and talk about her experience with the show once it's done running. But we saw The Effect written by Lucy Prebble and starred Joanne, one of our classmates from Actors Lab. I forget what her character's name was.
Connie.
Yeah, she was Connie. And wow, I told her, I was like, that was an amazing performance. And even just being able to have the stamina of being on stage most of the time, because there's only 4 people in that cast. So automatically, that they're, it's a full-length play. So
they were putting in work.
And like that, it just blew me away. And also the accents. I was like, girl, you could have fooled me. You could have fooled me. You like were straight out of the UK or something. Like
so I mean, just in the fact that I love small intimate plays like that, because like they really, really those kinds of settings, like if you're a story focused person, like those are great shows for the character, and it was just so it got so intense, and like towards the end, the second act, I wasn't expecting emotions to go quite that high, and like it was like you like literally felt like as an audience member felt it watching it, so I can only imagine what it was like acting it, because like there were some really intense emotional scenes where like the characters are like sobbing and crying, and one guy is like he's literally having a seizure, like it was a lot.
Yeah, that was, I do have to say that my favorite scene, I love pacing things where in this particular play, the two characters were on the sides of the doctor. So, well, okay, the premise of the play, just to give you a
Mm.
little bit of a gist, is
A little
that
context.
yeah, there's these two subjects that come in and they sign up to be a part of a drug experiment
Trial?
trial, a drug trial.
Yeah.
And so that's the play. Like the doctor is giving them these dosages of this, experimental drug, and they're supposed to track how it affects them and their behavior, and it does ultimately affect their behavior, and then they build a relationship. And there's this one moment where the two subjects are on each side of the doctor, and the doctor is asking them questions like, how do you feel, blah blah blah, and they're both answering. They're not supposed to, like, they're not interacting with each other because they're not in the same room, but their answering is like one after the other. Like they're the pacing in that scene. I don't know how else to describe it. And I would really love to talk to Joanne more about that because that was my favorite scene off the bat. As soon as they like were doing that, I was like, yeah, that's it. That's something I enjoy. I like to see that because I know the work that went into that scene to be able to get the pacing just right so that they weren't talking over each other, but that there was no empty space in that scene at all. It was just
Yeah.
dialogue, you know?
It's literally like a well choreographed dance because
Yes.
they really have to like the timing has to be precise
Hmm.
and exact and they have to be listening, you
Yep.
know.
Yeah. Insane. Insane. I really enjoyed that. And the ending was just heart-wrenching. It really
Oh,
upset me. It really
oh,
upset me.
it's funny because one of our classmates, Thenegard, he or former classmates because he's taking a break from class at the moment.
I
Random, right?
No, I am so, can I just say, I am so pissed off that I have not ran into Thenegard. Because, like, he was in the first scene that I ever wrote for Actors Lab to be performed in that setting. And he was in the scene with me.
Was
And
he?
I don't think I've seen this man in like 2 years or something. And I just keep missing him. Because I'm like,
No, because you didn't come to karaoke that time. Oh, that's right. And
no.
he only came to
Yeah.
karaoke with us the one time, and that was the one time that you couldn't come.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh. Anyway, that's just we should get him on the show as well. But anyway.
It's gonna cross, and I actually I would love to because like he was recently interviewed for a project that he did, and
Mhm.
so I absolutely would love to talk to him. And I found out that me and him live in the same town. Like,
Get the heck out of
what the
here.
heck? What the heck? I
What
literally
the
like he
heck?
said that last night, and I was like, since when? Apparently forever.
I'm
So
so
eventually, at some
mad.
point, you will cross paths, and you will get
Yeah.
to sit down and like sit with like meet with Thenegard again. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy because it has been years.
Anyway, what
Huh.
were you saying? I'm sorry. I'm just like
Um,
so mad about it.
um, so, but he had mentioned how the way it ended was very reminiscent of the Notebook and just how heart-wrenching it was and how
Mm.
heart-wrenchingly sweet it was. Just very emotionally impactful. And Joanne's performance, I mean, she just, and I really do want to talk to her about the choices that she made because, like, you can see it felt like I remember when it started, I thought I feel like I'm sitting in class watching her do a scene in class. And I feel like I'm getting to see her work and like this is like the culmination of it all. And
Mhm.
then as it went on, I was just like, oh, she's like she really you could see the amount of effort and time she put into really like knowing her character. And I really am curious to ask her how far away the character was from her. Because my perception is that this character was for like this character the character she played was very type A, very by the book, very much like because she was a student, a university student, you know, so just very very straight and narrow in a way that I don't know if Joanne is.
Mhm.
Um, like I don't perceive her that way, but like maybe there's just a part of her that I don't. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see, and really I'm really excited to sit down and talk with her about it.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. I mean, by the time this episode airs, I think they'll be done running, but it was put on by Langhorne Players, which
Mm-hmm.
was a really nice theater that I will definitely be going back to.
Wasn't it so cute and intimate?
Yes. But I could understand how intimidating that could be for an actor to
Mm-hmm.
be on that stage. You can see everyone in that audience.
The front row is about 2 feet from the stage, if that.
Exactly. Yeah, no. I like to lean on the fact that like I don't need glasses, but I really can't see people's faces very well in a dark setting like that. So
Mhm.
anytime I go out on stage, I'm like, this is lit because I don't know who's out there. Like it's great, you know?
Hmm.
But in
Hmm.
that setting, I feel like I would be able to point out everyone, which would make me nervous.
It's funny
So,
when we went out to eat after, Joanne was telling us how it's kind of like a running joke. Her director will get mad anytime like they're looking at the like fake mad, like anytime they're looking at the lineup and they see someone brought seats in the front row because they're like, why the fuck would they do that? And they're gonna like be right there in front of like practically on top of the stage. Like that is how close it is. So,
yeah, yeah. So
but
that was
utilize
great.
the space.
Yeah, for sure. Because they definitely did use the heck out of that stage
Hmm.
very efficiently too. So I look
Hmm.
forward to seeing her and other things too, because that was my first time really seeing Joanne. I hadn't seen any of her like screen projects or anything.
Hmm.
So that was really my first time seeing her in action outside of class.
Yeah.
It was
It was
great.
really exciting. And there was one sequence that I really, really liked. So I really admired the blocking, just kind of speaking to the production of the play. I really admired the blocking because the blocking was very complicated. It kind of reminded me like the blocking for You Can't Take It With You. Of well, is
Oh,
that the right one? Is that
yes,
that's the one that you just did, right? Okay.
yes,
Or in February. So it kind of reminded me of that, of how intricate it was because
yes.
like they would like have to like you have like set coming or the crew coming in and like arranging the
Mhm,
set around the actor like but they did it in a way that was very 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 well done. And then there
mhm.
was one sequence that I absolutely loved, so this was my favorite scene in the whole show, and it was the time lapse of the night that they spent together with
I
these
knew
like
it.
two these two main characters when they finally gave into their feelings for each other. And the way they portrayed the scene is like he came and he visited her room in the middle of the night, and it was just it would the lights would go down and then they would come back on and the actors would be in a different position and they just like be in the middle of a conversation, and it was just very intimate and well done, and it was such a perfect like montage on stage. I really liked it.
Which is so funny because we had just talked about recently the fact that in Twilight, it was kind of funny how to portray her depression, Bella's depression, they showed the camera moving around her, and as the camera would move and you could see the window, you would see the seasons changing. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
montage they did on screen. But this was a real life live montage that they pulled off,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that that was excellent as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very very well done.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, also, like, the light person has to be on point for that because when they change positions, the light needs to come up. And then you also need to know, like, when to go down, when to give them their moment. And so that's also like coordination with, the people behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just as important as they're all in on the choreography, everyone.
Actually, yeah, let's take a moment to shout out the light person for that show because of how minimal this actual set design was. A
Yeah.
lot of it was in like the props were a lot of the atmosphere was I guess relied on the lighting. And so
Mhm.
like there would be
Mhm.
people like he would highlight certain individuals that were talking.
Yep.
He would highlight like one scene happening over on the stage, and it was like all it was literally like you said, it was a part of the entire story that was being told. It was very very well done.
Yeah. Definitely am not mad at that show at all. That was a great show.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And it's funny, I was watching it and I was really really heartbroken. So those of you who know me know that I am a chronic movie rewatcher. When I really, really like something, I will go to the movie theaters 3 or 4 times to watch it again and again and again. And I was sitting there watching the play, and I was so heartbroken that I can't rewatch this play. Like, I mean, I could, in theory, make the drive out there again and get a ticket again, but it's like it's such a whole fanfare that it's hard for me to justify because it's like an hour away from me. It's hard for me to justify that more than once. But I really would love to watch it again because it was just that good. And I feel like just on a second watch, there would be more things to pick up on, you know?
Mm. No, I agree. I agree. Sometimes it's like, yeah. But see, you know what the thing with theater is? Because I almost want to be like, oh, maybe they filmed it. Maybe they're gonna sell it, like sell like taped versions or whatever after the fact. But then I'm like, when I want to see a play again, I want to see it on a different night to see maybe what what changed, what
Hmm.
the nuance of this night was, like what the difference in the performance is, but also then to pick up on things that I didn't pick up on before. But like that's part of seeing a live performance two times. And I don't think I've ever done that before, though. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen the same play with the same cast more than once. Even when I'm in a play,
Hmm.
I don't I don't watch other people's performances after like when it comes to tech week, like I just mainly stay behind the scenes because I feel like it's part of my job to not watch their performance.
Well, you also want to make sure you're like prepared, you know, like and you're focused on your character kind of in that moment,
Yeah.
you know?
And then I'm also like, I want, like, if my character's not supposed to see this, then I'm like, if I'm not in the room with
Mm.
that character at Tech Week, I kind of want to keep it that way. Like, I'm not supposed to hear this conversation, you know, even though I've been hearing it because we've been rehearsing it. But Tech Week, I'm like, I don't want to see that again. So I don't think that I've ever seen the same play twice. That's interesting.
Yeah, it might be something
Oh,
to do one day. Hmm.
yeah.
Might
But
choose like a
again,
couple.
it is hard to get.
You know, and I mean, I'd go to one of my local playhouses, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, all the playhouses around me are only doing musicals. And as we've
Mhm.
expressed, and nothing against musicals, but like I like plays. I'm just like it's my personal preference.
Can we put, well, shit. I was gonna say, can we shout, but by the time this episode comes out, the deadline will have passed. I think that we should shout out Mike's auditions. We can put it in like the next episode we release. I'll put
Okay.
a link in the darn it. So I was gonna say that'd be a good if there are any actors that are listening. Our friend Mike, who is also in Actors Lab, is looking for actors to be a part of his musical in Philly Fringe. But, well,
Maybe, well, he might be willing. Oh, fuck, I dropped my crystal. He might be willing to make an exception. I'm just checking to see if he put when auditions close.
someone said the 20th.
Because we might
This will be released before then.
just, yeah, like it might just make the deadline. So yes,
Huh?
we'll link
Last
his
minute.
Instagram.
Or the audition thing, the audition website.
Yeah, I'm checking. I'm on the oh, join the cast. Hold on. Audition info. Ready to audition. Submit the process. Submit by June 20th. Yeah, cool. We'll
That's
link
almost,
everything um
I gotta
in
film
the
that
show
today.
notes. And we'll also link the Spotify album of the Christmas Carol songs and you can listen to it. It's a really interesting concept and he really has potential to take it far and we really hope any actors, Philly actors out there take an opportunity to go check out his auditions.
I think that everyone should somehow be involved in Philly Fringe just because there's so much going on.
Mm.
There's so much of it. Like there's so many different theaters or just like live monologue perform like there's a lot going on with Philly Fringe and I feel like everyone should be involved in some way, shape, or form.
I agree. And I think actually I've been toying with the idea of like looking into seeing, because right now is the time when they're casting for things, right?
Yeah.
Like this is literally the window for it. So I really want to try and like, you know, submit for at least one thing. Maybe get the audition, maybe not. But if I at least submit, I can say I tried, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still something from 2 years ago that I saw for Philly Fringe that I should have just auditioned for, but
Mhm.
it was something kind of like what I've done before where it's like a living, what's the word for historical reenactments? There's a word. Interpretation, no.
Interpreters. No,
Interpreters. Yeah,
no.
history interpreters. Yeah, it was something like that where you would like um do a monologue as like a woman from history and stuff like but so I'm like so I'm kicking myself that I did not submit for that when I was very capable of doing that even 2 years ago. So I'm like now anything that I see that's plausible, which by the way, most of it is because Philly Fringe is so far away that the rehearsals aren't going to start for like another couple months maybe. So like we have time.
Ideally after the World Cup, because that's like my biggest thing, because I'm not trying to travel into the city
Okay,
outside of like going out to like drink or whatever.
when is that? Like
Soon? We should have asked Taylor. I know it's soon, and I know it's like it's 34 days, I think. Correct us.
Listen, that's gonna be the craziest like 4 weeks that this area has seen. Because by the way, I was also reminded, so I started storytelling again. The season started back up last weekend, so I was
Mhm.
out there this weekend as well. And I was reminded by the park rangers that this is the 250th year of the United States. And by the way, Valley Forge, I don't know if you know, is a huge part of that whole of the Revolutionary War. So and Philly, of course,
Philly's the
obviously.
birthplace of the nation, some will say, you know? So there's
She
a
was
lot
like,
happening.
she's telling us, she's like, girl, we have stuff planned for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of July. It's going to be packed. I was like, yo, I didn't even think about that. Duh, of course it's going to be packed. So Philly is about to be hit with, I mean, I guess that's good for the economy. I don't know. I'm still going to be broke.
Business is booming.
But yeah, so we're going to have a good time. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
just wanted
yeah.
to shout out Mike's project.
Yes, shout out Mike. I was just looking at it, but it's a Christmas Carol rap musical, and it's gonna be very good. I know it's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait to see it come
Yeah.
together. Are you still gonna audition for it?
Absolutely.
Good.
I've been begging people. I begged Taylor, Shay, and Joanne to also audition for it because I feel like we're all capable of doing it. I think everyone should audition for it. Because really, like, listen, I can't sing, but that's not what he's pitching. To me, it sounds like he's pitching something like a Hamilton.
Yes,
I can do something like a Hamilton without the singing. I wish I could sing like the cast of Hamilton can sing down too, by the way, can
yes,
sing
ma'am.
down. The amount of times I listen to Washington's what's that song? One Last Time by
Mm,
Christopher Jackson, I think, is the one that plays Washington. Anyway, it's
every
ridiculous
time.
how smooth his voice is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that's not me, but I can rap. I can be a poet for a second. And
Yeah, I
I might not get it, but it's fine.
well, never say never. I think for me, I'm intimidated by the rap. If it were just singing, I'm like I could whip to get something together. The rapping, I'm like I sound so bad when I attempt to rap.
So that's why you're okay, because here's the thing, because Taylor also was like, I don't know if I can do that. You can do it. We can all do it. We are all capable. I feel like if we're capable of spitting a monologue, we're capable of spitting rap, okay? It's poetry. It's all poetry. We could do that. We could catch a rhythm, we could catch the beat.
Just get a little uns,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. See, I'm not even doing the right. I'm doing and that's not
Yeah.
even the
It's okay.
right.
It's okay. You got your own rhythm. You got your own rhythm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Chat
just
type one
I feel like
one in chat.
I want everyone to audition for this. I don't know why I'm so invested in this. I'm gonna message him and be like, hey, so if I don't get a role, which is totally fine, by the way, you don't have to give me a role. Let me just be a PA or something. Like, what do you need? What type of support do you need? Because I got you. I could do it,
Yeah,
you know?
like at least I just want to be a part of the experience. I would actually to that point I would love to be a part of like crew or something or like an assistant or something because like I just want the experience of being a part of the making. I love that shit so much, you know?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
By the way, I just have to say that Taylor has expressed interest in coming back. And
Hell yeah.
I was like, duh. And then she starts listing all of the stuff we didn't talk about with her.
She
Um,
did that to me
yeah.
too. I love her so bad.
And I was like, girl, obviously you could come back. Like, I'm dead serious. Like,
Yeah. No,
oh,
like actually, like honestly,
yeah.
maybe she could co-host. I
I
think
think
because
I already pitched
yeah,
it to her. I was like,
good.
while we were at Applebee's, by the way, the Applebee's down the street from that theater had a patio. So we were on the
Oh,
patio living our best lives. I was like, girl, yeah, we're gonna do this thing where we're gonna start bringing people in because like sometimes we might need a break. And she was like, what? And I was like, it's gonna work. and you can do it. You can come in, or you can like we can just interview her again. But I think it would be
I think that would be really fun. I think, like, I mean, obviously, I think we should interview her again because there are a lot of things that we didn't get to talk about. But I also think her co-hosting would be fun, especially with her being such an avid listener. So
exactly.
yeah, guys. We might be changing up the structure a little bit, but it's gonna be all fun. I'm really excited. I think that'll
Oh,
be a
that's
really
fun. Yeah.
fun thing.
I
So
gotta yeah, record that episode too. I was gonna do that tonight, but it's not gonna get done. I
don't do
gotta
that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
I already have a long list. Oh, by the way, you remember last week when I said I was gonna pull up an all-nighter?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I'll be so honest with you.
I made it till about like I think about two. And
Um,
then I went to sleep.
that's pretty decent. And were you able to get like at least like a decent amount done that you wanted to get done?
Nope, because
Okay.
I'm supposed to get my braids done. Let's have a let's do a betting thing. What do they call it? Gambling.
Uh,
Who thinks Tiana's braids are done right now? It's a week later.
wait, they're
Well,
not done yet. They look
there's
done.
a section in the back that's not done. And but I can get this little section done in probably about an hour or so. But yeah,
Are you doing that tonight?
yeah, it's like 9 braids.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay. So it really will be like an hour.
yeah, it'll be quick and yeah, because I got other stuff to do, but I have to finish it because I've been rocking a bun for like 3 days, and that's not gonna work anymore.
No, but you're also incredibly real because when I do crochet braids, if I like start too late and I don't give myself enough time, I sure enough will wear a bun for a week until I feel like going back to finish it.
I went to a doctor's appointment and one of the doctors was like, "Oh, like where do you get your hair done?" I was like, "I do it myself." And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, but it takes me like 4 days." She was like, "Are you like, how does that work?" And I was like, "Girl, just do the perimeter so that if you run out of time, boop, put it in a bun and go on
Clock
about your
it.
business, you know?"
Clock it. That is in fact the hair trick. Yep. Because nobody has to know. It's nobody's business.
Yeah. I just want to say though, I would love to not have to do my hair. I would love to have hairstylists that are real about their prices and like, let's be so for real right now. I am not paying you $600 to get braids. I'm not doing it. I would rather spend 4 days doing my hair with, I think I spent like $60 at the hair store a year and a half ago, and I still have been able to use that braiding hair, you
Wait, why
know?
don't you go to the Africans? Because they only do it for like $200. There's an African braiding shop near me that they still only
I
do like
know.
$200 for like decent length.
Yeah, I discovered another one too near the theater that I'm working with now. And I was like, I should like see what their prices are because I'm kind of sick. Like it just takes too much time. Like I'm tired. I so anyway,
It
but
took you like a week. That is a lot of like that's a huge investment of your time, and that's just like a lot to ask of yourself right now.
to be fair, there was a time when I would just go straight through the night and it would be about 10 hours, which is not bad because it's like one and done, but I have
Mhm.
only been doing like a couple hours here and a couple hours there. So,
But that's because that's what you have to give because you're really genuinely stretching yourself. Like you're putting so many different
yeah.
pieces of yourself in so many different pots. So,
Yeah.
c'est la vie.
Anyway, well, performance of the week.
Yeah. You want to go first or you want me?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be the same thing we were just talking about because my performance of the week is Joanne in the
Yeah.
play. Like I felt like she absolutely killed it, and it kind of shocked me.
Mm.
Her and that character, just like I've never seen Joanne kiss anyone, and her kissing it's the character, so it's not really her. It's Connie kissing Tristan, I guess his name was. But I
Mm.
was like, okay. I said.
And we're gonna put a button on that because when she is on the podcast, I want to ask her what that was like because we've actually had a conversation. I think at her and Shane's party, we ended up having a conversation about intimacy scenes and just like what that would like. What does that look like in the preparation for that look like? So I am very curious to hear what she has to say about it.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. So she was my
Hmm.
performance of the week, hands down.
Okay, period. Well, I have two. Or actually, well, I guess technically I have three, but my first one is from the play. So Joanne, definitely. I mean, she's just, and it's funny, and I meant to say this earlier, but kind of one last thing about it is when we were talking with her, she was telling us how she had wished we had come opening night because she said opening night went so much better than last night. We did not feel that at all. So this is like to you actors out there, if you ever feel like you have a bad night, I just want you to know chances are the audience does not feel it because she was explaining to us, she's like, yeah, I just wasn't able to really like connect with the character like I was last night. Like I wasn't able to really get into it. And it felt like we were all kind of thrown off because they were having like technical difficulties leading up to it. And when I tell you, we would never have been able to tell, like she wasn't able to get to tears to come out during like the really emotional scenes.
Hmm.
But it was almost like more impactful because it was like she was trying to hold back like her feelings. And like, it was like this because of the journey that her character went on, like these kind of intense emotions were not normal for her character.
Hmm.
So I thought it was really interesting that like she felt like it didn't go as well when we just did not feel that at all. It felt so, so good. And she was amazing. And then also her scene, one of her scene partners or one of her castmates, Tess Ammerman, she played the doctor. So good. So good. So good. And I was reading her bio and she like has all this classical training, acting training. And I was like, and you could tell like she was also phenomenal and a joy to watch and a pleasure. So their performance last night was good. And then my second one, I went to see Backrooms with oh my god, his name was just in my head. Chiwetel, Ayo,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna look it up because I told myself to look it up before we started filming, and then guess what I didn't do? Ejiofor. Um, so good, so good. The movie, I gave it 3 stars. I have my opinions about it, whatever. But his acting and his commitment to that, very good. He's a phenomenal actor, and I really hope we get to see him in more things because he's good.
He has been on a solid run for like 20 years because anything that I've ever seen him in, he kills it. He disappears into the role, whatever
Yes,
it's in. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a 12 Years a Slave or it's a Doctor Strange. Like
yes,
he's
yes.
one of my greats and he's consistent too.
He
Consistently
just
good.
he knows how to he knows how to get there like in the back rooms because like the kind of the story is like we're watching this character go mad like he clearly struggles with mental illness and like anger issues and like there was one scene where like I actually like he got me. I wasn't anticipating his outburst like that.
Mhm.
um and just contrasting that to like how he presented his character in the beginning was very like he really took that character on a journey and it was very good. So the Backrooms, I don't know if I'd go to the theaters for it, but it's definitely worth a watch when it's out on streaming for his
Okay.
performance alone.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that when it's in streaming.
Yeah,
Not really. I don't know. I'm not really into the movies right now.
that's yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
we said before, like there are later this year. I think there are more things that'll actually because right now, like horror has been like the big theme for the first half of the year. A
Mhm.
lot of horror. So,
Yeah. That's not my favorite. But
mm-mm.
definitely like the fall, like I already have a list of things I need to see. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna scheduling that. But yeah. And we have to do a group thing. Of course we do for Dune.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Like
we
that's
have
a must.
yeah. So we'll do
Period.
that. And we'll invite Thenegard because I have not seen him in years.
And he
Thenegard, if
will.
you're listening.
In fact, I'm gonna clip this right now. Thenegard, this is for you.
Yes,
Let's go.
please
We're
come to
going
see Dune
to
with us.
Dune.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
it. Awesome.
Well, that is
I think
all.
that's all. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I need to go I we have to be off book next week, next Sunday. So
I
I
guess it
have
is that time.
work to do. I have a lot of work to do.
Do you feel like you're like, are you getting like near to off book or is it?
Here's the thing. It's hard. I think it's a different type of hard to get off book when you're not speaking that often. So for a good portion of the play, because there are six principals, most of the time we're all talk or not all talking at once, but like I'll have maybe 2 lines a page generally. So I know those lines, but knowing when they come, that's the part where I'm like worried about. Because sometimes the line may just be me saying, "Oh, that's amazing." But it's so I know I need to say that. I just where in the sequence of that
Where?
is like we are having genuine conversations where it's like you may be only inputting 1 or 2 words. So that's the part of off book that it's like, like I know my lines, I just kind of am not quite sure sometimes where they come into play, but we shall see.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's such a good point because it's like you're gonna have to essentially know the entire script to know when to say your words. Like that's like just what it comes down to because of like it's not like consistent enough back and forth
Yeah.
for most of the play.
And sometimes like we're saying just throwaway things that don't even really add substance to the conversation anyway. So it's not like
Mhm.
you can understand the context of a conversation and know that, okay, in this conversation, I'm against whatever you're saying. So I know that my next line must be X, Y, and Z. But if I'm just saying something just to say something, because sometimes characters do that, then it's like, I really have to memorize exactly where this comes in because it's not like you're saying anything that adds to it, if that makes
Right.
sense. But yeah,
No,
so
it does, yeah.
I'll be working on that this whole week.
It's like an ad lib, but it's written out, so it's not an ad lib. But like it's like an like just like a like you yeah, I don't know. Good luck. Keep us updated. I have more than enough faith in you, but you'll do it. But it's gonna be a chore.
Well, by the time we film the next episode, I will have had that rehearsal where it's literally like Act One is off book next Sunday, and Monday it's Act Two off book.
Hmm.
But Act Two we've run it a bunch of times, so I'm okay with that too. Like I can do it
Okay.
probably now. But girl, but let me just say
Mm.
this is the last thing, and I'll shut up. In this play, I get to fulfill my lifelong dream of quoting a very famous, very prominent passage. I'm just gonna read it to you now. You may know, you may know this. Very
Okay.
impactful, very impactful, great writing. About 3 things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I didn't know how potent that part might be, that thirsted for my blood. And third, I was unconditionally and irrevocably in love with him. I actually have to say that. My character says that. My character quotes Twilight in this play. And let me tell you something. If you don't think, if I mess up on every line, that will be the one line I won't mess up on.
I'm screaming. And you want to know something else? I've noticed. I don't think an episode goes by where we don't mention either Twilight or Shakespeare. It's like Twilight or Shakespeare. Those are like two consistent themes, and I am so obsessed with that. You know what?
The
Period.
dichotomy. Yeah, it really makes no sense, and I don't care. I don't care at all. Yeah, I have Twilight on my shelf. I have Shakespeare, you know, I have Agatha
And what
Christie.
about it? And
Yeah,
what about it?
I
It's
also
called being.
also have the fucking, why do I have this? The Associated Press. You can't even see it. Style book. Why do I have it? I'm gonna read it, so you guys can't tell me anything. Who gives a shit? You
It's
know?
called being well-rounded.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, we'll hear an update next week. See how it goes, and with that, I guess that's all. Bye.